Hello everybody and welcome to Arabic with Amina. Today we are going to be learning how to use adjectives to describe words. So if you're not familiar with what is an adjective is a word used to describe a noun. For example, a big house. The noun in this sentence is house and the adjective is big. We are describing the house as big. In Arabic, an adjective is known as صفة or نعت. Both mean adjective. But there's something important to note. In English, the adjective will come before the noun. As in the example, a big house, we first have the adjective big and then the noun house. In Arabic, it's the opposite. The adjective comes after the noun. So if we were to say a big house in Arabic, بيت كبير. Beit is house and kabir is big. So what we are literally saying is house big. There is no a or an article in Arabic, so there is no a house big. It's simply implied. Now, when we use an adjective to describe a noun in Arabic, it has to copy the noun in multiple ways. First off, it has to copy the noun in the gender. Also in number, whether it be a single, dual, or plural. In definiteness, is it a defined noun or an indefinite noun? And in the case, is it in the nominative case, the accusative case, or the genitive case? Whichever case the noun is in, the adjective will also be in. So let's start off with the gender. When we say that the adjective must copy the noun in gender, that means if we are describing a feminine noun, we must use the feminine form of the adjective. And likewise, if we are describing a masculine word, the adjective must be in the masculine form. I talk about feminine and masculine words in a separate video you can check out. So let's take some examples and apply the adjective matching the noun in gender. If we are to say a smart boy, obviously we are referring to a masculine noun since it is a boy. So in Arabic, we would say waladun ذكي. Dhaki is in the masculine form, and this is to match the masculine noun boy or walad. If we were to say a smart girl, we are now talking about a feminine noun. So we must use the feminine form of smart. So we would say bint ذكية. Bintun ذكية. Notice how we use the feminine form of smart, which is ذكية. Another example would be if we are to say a big school. In Arabic, we would say مدرسة كبيرة. Since school, which is madrasa, is a feminine noun, we are using the feminine form of the adjective big, كبيرة. So that's for matching the adjective and noun gender-wise. Now we're going to be talking about matching the noun and adjective number-wise. Whether this is single, dual, or plural, they have to match. If you're not familiar with these forms, I explain them thoroughly in another video, which you can check out in the corner above. Okay, so now on to our examples regarding number. Here we have one student, and we are going to describe him by saying a diligent student. In Arabic, we would make that طالب مجتهد. طالب is student, مجتهد diligent. Now, this is one student we are talking about. Let's say we're talking about two students, diligent students. Well, since these are two students, we are going to be using the dual form or muthanna for both the noun and the adjective. So we would say طالبان مجتهدان. Notice how we change the form of both the noun and the adjective. And if we were to talk about three students, three and more is considered the plural form. So we would say طلاب مجتهدون. Have a look at the English translation. When we moved from one student to two students, we only added an S to the word students. The word diligent did not change. Same thing for when we referred to three students. Diligent did not change. However, in Arabic, the adjective must copy the noun in either the dual form, single form, or plural form. Now, one exception to the adjective matching the noun in dual, plural, and singular form is that if we are talking about an innominate thing or an innominate noun. What is innominate? For anything that is not human, not alive. So when we are using the plural form, for example, saying pens or cars, the adjectives describing these words are not going to be also in the plural form. Instead, they are going to be described by using feminine singular adjectives. If you're a little bit lost, hold on. We have a few examples to clear all of this up for you. Let's say we're talking about cars. Cars in Arabic are sayyarat. All right, what about the cars? What are we going to say? How are we going to describe them? We're going to say new cars. If we were to apply what we learned in the last slide, where the adjective must match the noun in plural, single, and dual form, we would put the adjective new into the plural form. So we would say sayyarat jadidat. Right? Wrong. Since cars are innominate, they're not alive, they're not human, and they are in the plural form, we're going to describe them by the singular feminine form. So we would say not sayyarat jadidat, but instead say sayyarat jadida. Let's do another example just to make sure we've got this. We have pens, which are aqlam. And we're not going to change our adjective. We're going to say the same thing. New pens. Initially, if it were to follow the noun in its pluralness, it would be aqlamun judad. Judad is the masculine form of new in the plural form as well, since the word aqlam is masculine. But again, we are not using the plural form for these nouns. We instead are describing them using the feminine singular adjective. So this would also be aqlamun jadida. So we covered the part now of matching the noun and adjective gender-wise and number-wise. Now we are going to be talking about matching the noun and adjective in definiteness. What is definiteness, you might be asking? Definiteness is when the identity of the noun is known to the reader. For example, my car, Amina's car, the car, and etc. If you're not familiar with this topic, you can check out my video on this lesson. Now on to our examples. This right here is a green book, and we want to say green book. This is in the indefinite form. We are not using the, we're not referring it to someone else, so this is indefinite. To say this in Arabic, we would say kitabun akhbar. Kitabun akhbar. Now, if we were to put book into the definite form and say the green book, to say this in Arabic, we would have to match the adjective and noun both in definiteness. So we would say al-kitab al-akhbar. Al-kitab al-akhbar. We made both the noun and the adjective definite. Well, what happens if you don't make both the noun and the adjective definite? You see, we would be changing the meaning of the sentence. If we were to only put the noun in the definite form and say, الكتاب أخضر, the literal translation of this sentence is, the book is green. This is no longer us describing a noun with an adjective. Instead, this is a sentence with a verb to be. So when we want to use adjectives, it's important to match the definiteness of both the noun and the adjective. And if we were to describe the noun with more than one adjective, the same rules apply to each of the adjectives. For example, we say, the small green book. We would say, الكتاب الأخضر الصغير. Notice how we made the noun definite, the first adjective definite, and the second adjective also definite. So if you add, for example, 10 adjectives, it doesn't matter. All the rules apply to every single adjective. They have to match the noun in those 4 aspects: gender, number, definiteness, and case, which we are going to be talking about now. Now, case in Arabic, whether this be the nominative case, the accusative case, or the genitive case, is a topic regarding the position and function of the word in a sentence. To simplify things, we have this sentence. This sentence says, هذا مدرس جديد. This is a new teacher. Our noun here is in blue, مدرس, teacher, and the adjective is in yellow, new or جديد. Now, our noun, as you can see, notice how the noun, teacher or مدرس, is in the nominative case. How do we know? You can see that at the end of مدرس, we have a tanween of 2 dhammas. So when we add the adjective is going to be in the same nominative case as the noun. So هذا مدرس جديد. Another sentence, القلم في الحقيبة الصغيرة. The pen is in the small bag. Again, the noun is in blue and the adjective in yellow. Our noun here is in the genitive case, as demonstrated by the kasra at the end of the word. And since the adjective must follow the noun, the adjective is also in the genitive case. Our final example for matching the adjectives to the case. أحمد رسم رسمة جميلة. أحمد رسم رسمة جميلة. Ahmed drew a beautiful drawing. The noun is in the accusative case. It is demonstrated by the tanween or fathatain at the end of the noun. And the adjective, which is beautiful or jamila, is matching the noun, and it is also in the accusative case. Now let's put the information we just learned to the test. We have a short, fun quiz here. Here we have a sentence. الرجل فقير. I want you to tell me, what does this sentence mean? Does this sentence mean the poor man? Or does this sentence mean the man is poor? Take a moment to think about the answer. If you need more time, you can pause. So we actually already covered this topic when we were talking about the adjective matching the noun in definiteness. As we can see here, the adjective poor or faqir does not match the noun الرجل in definiteness. The noun is definite, whereas the adjective is indefinite. So we are not using the word poor as an adjective and saying the poor man. Instead, we are saying the man is poor. If we were to say the poor man, the noun and the adjective would have to match in definiteness. So it would be الرجل الفقير. Next, the beautiful flower. This is a sentence I want you to say. I will give you all the words needed to make this sentence. This is your word bank. Flower is warda. Beautiful in the masculine form is jamil. And in the feminine form, jamila. And the is al. So go ahead and take a minute to compile the sentence and say the beautiful flower. Again, if you need more time, just pause the video. Okay, so now we are going to put together the sentence saying the beautiful flower. That would be al-wardatul jamila. Remember, the noun comes before the adjective in Arabic. So we have al-warda coming first, which is flower or rose. And we have the adjective matching the noun in gender. Since flower is feminine, the adjective is also in the feminine form. And since the noun is definite, the adjective is also in the definite form. So that is why we have al or the attached to both al-warda and al-jamila. And that's it for today's lesson. I really want to know how you did on the quiz, so please do comment below how you found it and how you found this lesson in general. And if you found it useful, please do subscribe, like, and share this video. See you next time. Arabic with Amina.